Hello, everybody. We have some breaking news on the Luigi Mangione front. Here we go. Okay, so first, let's just read this article. It came out today at 10:30 this morning. Right now, it's 1 p.m. So it's like 2.5 hours ago. This article came out. It says Luigi. This is Fox News. Luigi Mangione's lawyers slam quote vague allegations, demand feds show their hand in bare bones CEO unaliving case. Attorneys for the accused United Healthcare CEO unaliver demand more details before the death penalty trial. Attorneys for Luigi are accusing the federal government of providing bare bones vague allegations in their death penalty case against the accused United Healthcare CEO unaliver. In a new court filing, the defense is asking a federal judge to require the prosecution. So Luigi's lawyers are asking the judge to force the feds to hand over specific information surrounding allegations intended to be proven at the sentencing phase of the trial. The defense, that's Luigi's lawyers, claims prosecutors' information about various factors, such as the alleged threat to individuals other than the victim. So they're saying that Luigi Mangione threatened people other than just this Brian, excuse me, I don't remember his last name, the CEO guy. They're saying that because a big deal with this trial, a big part of Luigi's defense now is that in the federal case, the prosecutors are seeking the unalive penalty. Now, he's facing cases all over the place. He's got one in Pennsylvania. He's got one in state court in New York. But in the federal case, they are seeking the unalive penalty. So because they're doing that, they have to prove, meaning the feds have to prove a lot more stuff than if they weren't. Like there's a lot more safeguards on a person's life, specifically whenever they're facing the unalive penalty. So statutorily, there are certain things that just have to be met, certain thresholds that have to be broken, certain bars that have to be cleared, certain bars that have to be limboed under, if you know what I mean. I'm trying to give the analogies, but one such bar in a death penalty case is that you have to show some type of threat to someone else, or if you can show a threat made to someone else other than only the victim who was unalive. The government, the feds against Luigi Mangione have said, yeah, he made threats to all kinds of people. He made threats to other people. Yes, he did. The feds are saying, and we're going to prove it at trial. And that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons why he needs to be put to death, because he made threats against people. Well, Luigi's lawyers are like, okay, which threats against who? And the feds won't say. So Luigi's lawyers are like, Your Honor, how are we going to defend our client's life if we don't even know what these threats are? And so Luigi's lawyers have filed with the court, asking the court to intervene and force the feds, force the government to turn over some information. And breaking news, as of today, Monday, July 28th, as of a few hours ago, the feds have also now filed in the court saying, okay, that's cute. He's going to ask you to intervene, Your Honor, and we're going to oppose it. I'll show you what I mean in just a minute. The defense, this is Luigi's lawyers, claim prosecutors' information about various factors, such as the alleged threat to individuals other than the victim, that would be the CEO guy, and also the impact, what impact this has had on the victims' loved ones. The defense lawyers claim, so Luigi's lawyers claim that type of stuff, quote, contains only bare bones allegations. They're vague allegations, lacking any information about the facts upon which the government intends to rely. This is according to the document that was filed in court. Now, Mangione's lawyers, this is Luigi's lawyers, argue that the lack of details that the government provided to them is preventing them from being able to adequately prepare for Luigi's defense. And the lawyers are saying this is a violation of the Federal Death Penalty Act. Now, just to remind you, one of Luigi's lawyers on his case is the same lawyer that just got Diddy found not guilty on 4 out of 6 charges. Now, the main lawyer attached to Luigi's case from the Agnifilo law firm seems and appears to be Karen Agnifilo, or Friedman Agnifilo, which is Mark Agnifilo's wife. But they both work at the same law firm. And if I recall correctly, Tina Garagos also works there. Now, you might be wondering, why doesn't she work at her daddy's law firm? I don't know. I'm wondering the same. Okay. So Luigi's lawyers, though, including, Karen Friedman, Agnifilo, or Friedman, I think. The document that Luigi's lawyers filed suggests an informational outline should be provided to Luigi's lawyers by October. The document suggests an informational outline. So this is Luigi's lawyers are like, we need an informational outline, Your Honor, by October. It's only July. It's 3 months. By 3 months from now, can we get a little informational outline on what it is they're trying to say I did with threatening other people? Quote, the need for sufficient time to conduct such an investigation is particularly acute in this case because the government announced it will seek the unalive penalty. This is even before Luigi's lawyers are saying. This is even before they had the opportunity to conduct a mitigation investigation and make a detailed factual mitigation presentation to the Department of Justice. Now, Luigi's lawyers are arguing and have been arguing that he is being politically prosecuted. He's being prosecuted for political reasons, and that's why they're seeking the unalive penalty, because of political reasons. And so this would still play into and support that same type of argument. Luigi's lawyers go on to say, quote, too much is left to guesswork. Notice means notice. It does not mean a scavenger hunt for clues in discovery, Your Honor. Okay, so then they get into that article about all, a bunch of the details that were already hashed through. I don't want to do that here today. What I do want to do is pull up that docket item that Luigi Mangione and the government actually did file. So this all really starts with docket number 25, and that is the government's notice. This was all the way back in April. The government filed this 3-page document, and you might remember having seen it in the news. This is a 3-page document the feds filed. I think it was directed by Pam Bondi against Luigi in the federal case. This is back in April. Docket number 25, if you're trying to look it up. Notice of intent to seek the penalty. Okay, see that right there? The United States of America, through its powers, notify the court and Luigi. The United States wants to have him sentenced to unalive. I'm trying to follow the rules here. So the reasons were there was an intentional engagement in an act of violence, knowing that the act created grave risk of death to a person, intentional participation in an act resulting in death, grave risk of unaliving, substantial planning. Okay, so aggravating factors. What are the aggravating factors according to the government? Well, victim impact, selection of site and victim for an act of violence, and future dangerousness. He expressed intent to target an entire industry, and all of this other stuff. Well, Luigi's lawyers are like, okay, that's cute, but can I see your proof? What do you mean? Because that's all we're getting is this one little paragraph. No, that's not enough. We don't know what they're talking about. What do you mean a whole entire industry? We mean a little bit more than that. And Karen and the rest of the Agnifilos and the rest of the team over there for Luigi, they're not asking for it right now. They want a little informational outline by 3 months from now. And let's see what the actual request did say. This would have been docket number 40. And it was filed on, I believe, Friday. So July 25th is when this was filed by Luigi's lawyers, the first page. And then, okay. So then they write this whole long thing. I'm not going to be reading all of this because you pretty much get the gist of what's going on in this first paragraph. If y'all want me to do a live stream and read this, put something in the chat. Say, tell me in the chat. Maybe I'll do it. I don't know. No promises, but we'll see. But this was filed Friday. Please take notice, this is Luigi's defense lawyers. Please take notice that upon the annexed memorandum of law, the undersigned, that's Luigi's lawyers, will move this court for an order directing the government to provide an additional informational outline concerning certain of the purported aggravating factors. So then they go into these arguments here about why it is that the aggravating factors haven't been properly noticed by the government. It's not fair. He has the right to a fair trial, et cetera, et cetera. Well, just earlier today, breaking news, the government has filed a notice that they're going to file a response. Let me show you what I mean. Today, so that was filed on Friday. So this is today, Monday. The government writes in connection with the defendant's motion, so Luigi's motion for an informational outline of certain aggravating factors. And he filed this on Friday, July 25th. 2025, docket number 40. The government intends to oppose Luigi's motion and respectfully requests a period of 30 days to file its response, Your Honor. So that was it. That was the whole entire filing, and that just got filed today. I bet you the judge is going to say yes. So I wanted to come and let y'all know that is the most recent update in what is going on with Luigi Mangione and his criminal case. Luigi's lawyers are asking for some more information from the government. They think they are entitled to it, considering the gravity of the charges, but the government is saying, no. We're not giving you no informational outline, and they need 30 days to tell the judge why it is that the judge should side with them, not intervene, and not force the government to do some type of informational outline. So that's the latest on Luigi Mangione. I have some other videos coming out with some more updates. So make sure you have that bell clicked on and you didn't get accidentally unsubscribed and all of that. And I will be back very soon. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation. Everyone is innocent until they're proven guilty. And also neither are opinions, girl. Let me mean it. Okay, bye.